My husband returned from a business trip and cooked dinner for me for the first time in 10 years. I want to take care of you, he said affectionately. But I felt unwell and, so as not to offend him, secretly threw the dinner in the trash. At night, I woke up from a strange sound. My husband was standing over my bag, photographing my documents. Welcome to the channel Twists of Fate. Before we begin, write in the comments where you're watching from. We're really interested. We wish you an enjoyable listen to this captivating story. Anna stood by the window, watching a familiar grey car pull into the courtyard. David was back. He'd spent 2 weeks on a business trip, endless meetings with partners, negotiations, hotels. Over 10 years of marriage, Anna had gotten used to his absences. Used to him returning tired, silent, immediately sitting down at the computer to finish some reports. She quickly ran a hand through her hair, adjusted her robe. The apartment smelled fresh that morning. She dusted, vacuumed the living room rug. She wanted the home to feel cozy when her husband crossed the threshold. The key turned in the lock, and David entered the hallway with a large travel bag. He didn't look as worn out as usual. On the contrary, his face was fresh, his eyes sparkled, a smile on his lips. "Annie, hi." He set down the bag, stepped toward her, and hugged her so tightly she gasped in surprise. "I missed you so much." Anna was taken aback. When was the last time he hugged her like that? A month ago. 6 months. She tentatively hugged him back, feeling an unfamiliar warmth from the touch. "How was the trip?" she asked, pulling away. "Great." Signed the contract. Everything went smoothly. David kicked off his shoes, went into the room, tossed his jacket over the chair back. "Listen, I thought about it on the way back. We haven't spent proper time together in so long. I'm always working, and not paying attention to you." Anna watched him silently. Something about his behavior was odd. Not bad, just unusual. Over the years of marriage, she'd learned to read his mood from little things: how he set down a cup, how he frowned looking at his phone, how he turned away when he didn't want to talk. But now he looked at her as if he was genuinely glad to see her. "David, what happened?" She tried to smile. "You're different. In a good way, I hope." He approached her, took her hand. "I just realized I need to appreciate what I have more. You do so much for the home, for me, and I don't even say thank you properly." Anna felt something tighten in her chest. Had he really realized this? Maybe something happened on the trip that made him rethink his life. She wanted to believe it so badly. "You know what?" David let go of her hand and headed to the kitchen. "I'll cook dinner today. Myself. You rest." Anna followed him with her gaze and shook her head. Cook dinner. David? In all 10 years of their marriage, he hadn't even fried an egg once. At most, he could heat something in the microwave. She followed him into the kitchen, stopped in the doorway. David was already rummaging in the fridge, pulling out chicken, vegetables, herbs. "Don't worry, I'll manage." He turned to her. "I have a plan. Remember you once said you love chicken fillet with vegetables? That's what I'll make." "Dave, maybe don't." Anna stepped closer. "You're tired from the road, let me do it." No, he waved his hand. "I want to take care of you. Go sit, watch TV, or read a book. Dinner will be ready in an hour." Anna nodded uncertainly and left the kitchen. She sat in the armchair in the living room, picked up a magazine from the coffee table, but couldn't read. Her thoughts were jumbled. On one hand, it was nice that her husband had finally noticed her. On the other, why so suddenly? What had changed? Sounds came from the kitchen: the sizzle of oil in the pan, the chop of a knife on the cutting board, David's quiet muttering. He was clearly trying. Anna caught herself smiling. Maybe she's too suspicious. Maybe people really do change. An hour passed. Anna's head had started hurting that morning, some heaviness in her temples. By evening, it only intensified. She rubbed the bridge of her nose, closed her eyes. Probably her blood pressure fluctuating. Lately, it happened often: heart palpitations, headaches, splitting her skull. 3 months ago, her grandmother Vera had died. Anna's grandma was 91, and in her last years, she lived in a nursing home. Anna visited her every week, brought treats, sat beside her, listened to old stories. Grandma was the only close person after her parents' death. Mum died 5 years ago from cancer, Dad even earlier from a heart attack. When Grandma passed, Anna grieved sincerely. Then it turned out Vera had left her a 2-bedroom apartment in the city center, and a decent sum in a savings account. The apartment was old, needed repairs, but in a good neighborhood. The money, about $20,000, Grandma had saved her whole life, scrimping on everything. David was thrilled then. Said the apartment could be sold or rented, the money invested in something profitable. Anna nodded, agreed, but inside felt some awkwardness. This was Grandma's inheritance, the last thing left from the family. She didn't want to rush decisions. The inheritance documents were finalized a month ago. The certificate of inheritance rights Anna kept in a folder in the closet, along with other important papers: passport, medical records, insurance policy. David brought up selling the apartment several times, but she brushed it off. Wait, don't rush, we'll think about it. Maybe he was offended by that. Maybe he thinks she doesn't trust him. Anna didn't understand why she was delaying. Just some inner feeling telling her not to hurry. Annie, come here, David called from the kitchen. She got up from the armchair, went to the kitchen. On the table were 2 plates with neatly arranged chicken fillet baked with vegetables: bell peppers, zucchini, tomatoes, all beautifully sprinkled with herbs. Next to it, a fresh vegetable salad, bread in a basket. There, David proudly spread his arms. Sit, try. Anna sat down. The smell was appetizing, but her head hurt so much she had no appetite at all. Her stomach seemed knotted. She took a fork, cut a piece of chicken, brought it to her mouth. David sat opposite, watching her expectantly. Well, delicious, Anna chewed, smiled. Really, very delicious. He beamed. I tried. I want you to know you're important to me. I understand the last months have been hard for you. Grandma, paperwork, all that. You're holding up great. Anna lowered her gaze. The piece wouldn't go down her throat. Her head throbbed, everything swam before her eyes. She took another small piece, chewed slowly. David was already devouring, telling something about the trip. How he and colleagues went to a restaurant, but kept thinking about home. You know, one partner there talked about his wife, David chewed, washing it down with water. Says she's always dissatisfied, constant complaints. And I thought how lucky I am with you. You never nag, never make scenes. A golden wife. Anna tried to smile, but it came out crooked. Golden wife. Convenient wife. Who stays home, cooks, cleans, and doesn't ask extra questions. She nodded, pretended to listen. She couldn't eat anymore. The plate remained almost full. Need to think of something, or he'll be offended. So much effort, and she didn't eat. You know, she carefully set down the fork. I need to go to the bathroom. Be right back. Of course, go, David nodded, continuing to chew. Anna took the plate, stood up. Her heart pounded. Quickly passed by him, went into the hallway. In the bathroom, she locked the door, opened the trash can lid, and quickly dumped the plate's contents in. Covered it with paper towels. Looked at the empty plate, caught her breath. God, how stupid. He tried cooked, and she's throwing it away. But what to do? Not a bite would go down. Better he thinks she ate it all. She doesn't want to upset him. Anna washed her face with cold water, looked at herself in the mirror. Pale, circles under her eyes. 42 years old, but looks all 50. David had aged too gray at the temples, wrinkles around the eyes. But he at least took care of himself. Went to the gym, wore expensive suits. And she, housewife. 10 years ago, She quit her job as an accountant at a small firm when David started earning well. He said then, "Why strain yourself at that office for pennies? Stay home, handle the household. We'll have kids." They didn't have kids. Anna returned to the kitchen with the empty plate, ate everything. David raised his gaze. "Yes," she smiled. "It was very delicious. Thank you." He stood up, approached her, hugged her shoulders. "There, good. Means I'll cook more often now. Let's on weekends. I'll be in charge of dinner." "Deal, deal." Anna pressed against him, closed her eyes. Her head spun. She wanted to lie down, sleep. Maybe take a headache pill. "You look pale." David pulled away, looked at her face. "Not getting sick." "Headache a bit," Anna admitted. "Probably blood pressure. Or the weather affecting." "Lie down, rest." He stroked her back. "I'll do the dishes, clean up. Don't worry about anything." "Thank you, Dave." Anna looked into his eyes. "Really nice that you're caring like this." "I'm glad to." He smiled. "Go lie down. I'll join soon." Anna nodded, went to the bedroom, lay on the bed without even undressing, covered herself with a blanket. Outside, it was already darkening. November evening short. By 6 it's like night. Sounds came from the kitchen, clinking dishes, water running. David was really cleaning up. She closed her eyes. Her head still hurt, but not as bad. Gradually, the pain receded, her body relaxed. Anna drifted into drowsiness. The dreams were strange, fragmented. Dreamed of Grandma. She stood on the balcony, waving. Mum called from somewhere far. Anna tried to go to her, but her legs wouldn't obey, heavy like stone. She woke suddenly from some sound. The room was dark, only faint light came from the hallway. Anna opened her eyes, not moving. What was that? A click of some sort. Quiet, but sharp. She turned her head and froze. Next to the bed, by the dresser, stood David. In his hand, he held his phone, the screen glowing in the dark. On the dresser in front of him lay an open folder with documents. He leaned down, pulled something out. Passport. It seemed Dan brought it to the phone. Click. That sound again. He was photographing. Anna didn't breathe. Her heart pounded wildly, but she didn't move, didn't give away she was awake. Lay with half-closed eyes, watching through her lashes. David put the passport back, pulled out the medical records from the folder, brought it to the phone again, photographed. Anna lay, not stirring, feeling cold sweat break out on her forehead. What is he doing? Why photographing her documents? Thoughts raced through her head, each scarier than the last. Divorce? Wants to file for divorce and gathering evidence. Or something else. David pulled out the inheritance certificate from the bag. There it is. He carefully examined the paper, turning it to the light from the phone. Then photographed from both sides. Made several shots, checking each, zooming in on the screen. Anna felt everything inside knot tightly. Inheritance. So it's about that? Grandma's apartment and money. David carefully put everything back in the folder, straightened up, looked at her. Anna managed to close her eyes fully, made her breathing even deep. Pretended to be sleeping. He stood a bit longer, then quietly left the room. Closed the door softly, carefully. Anna lay without moving for several more minutes. Listened. From the living room came the muffled sound of the TV. David was probably watching news or some movie. She sat up on the bed, hugged herself. Her hands shook. What now? All this evening care, dinner, affectionate words, was it all insincere? Why does he need her documents? Maybe he just wanted to look at the inheritance details, know the exact apartment value. But then why secretly? Why wait until she fell asleep? Anna got up, went to the window. Outside, rare lanterns burned, lighting the empty courtyard. A woman walked by with a dog. Everything as usual. Ordinary evening, ordinary life. Only inside Anna, everything had flipped. Why was David photographing documents secretly? Why waiting for her to sleep? Anna returned to the bed, lay down, stared at the ceiling. Sleep was gone. Only one thought spun in her head. Something's wrong. Something very wrong. She remembered how David asked about the inheritance. How much money exactly in Grandma's account? What's the exact apartment size? Any debts? Anna hadn't attached importance to those questions then. Thought he was just interested. Planning the future. But what if? She sat up sharply. Need to check. In the morning, when he leaves for work, need to check his computer. See why he needed her documents. Anna lay back, pulled the blanket to her chin. Her heart still pounded, but thoughts became clearer. Tomorrow she'll find out everything. Tomorrow she'll understand what's happening. Behind the wall, the clock ticked. Time dragged slowly. Anna lay with open eyes, unable to sleep. In her head flashed snippets of memories: how David looked at her over dinner, how he hugged, how he said affectionate words. Everything seemed so sincere. And now she didn't know what to believe. Around midnight, David entered the bedroom. Undressed, lay next to her. Anna pretended to sleep, didn't stir. He settled comfortably, sighed, and in a few minutes snored quietly. And Anna lay next to him and thought, who is this person sleeping beside her? Does she know him at all? Or all these 10 years, she lived with a stranger who wore a mask of a caring husband. Morning came slowly, but Anna would wait and prepare to learn the truth. In the morning, Anna woke to the alarm sound. David was already sitting on the bed edge, stretching, yawning. She lay still, watching him through half-closed lids. He got up, went to the bathroom, came out in 10 minutes, already dressed, gray suit, white shirt, tie. Businesslike, collected, as always in the mornings. Annie, you awake? He leaned over her, kissed her forehead. I'm off to work. Try to come back early tonight. Okay, Anna mumbled sleepily. She didn't want to sleep at all. David took his briefcase, keys from the car. The front door slammed. Anna heard the engine start below, the car drive out of the courtyard. She sat up sharply on the bed. Her hands trembled, but not from cold, from that tension that had built all night. Need to act fast. She has at most an hour, maybe an hour and a half, until David returns for something forgotten. Anna threw on her robe, went to the study. David worked at home at a large desk by the window. On it stood a laptop, stacks of papers, folders with documents. Usually, he locked the computer with a password, but sometimes forgot. She lifted the laptop lid. The screen lit up, password required. Anna knew it. A year ago, she accidentally glimpsed it when David entered the code in front of her. 815, their wedding date, August 15. It seemed touching to her then, now just convenient. Her fingers typed the numbers. The computer unlocked. On the desktop, several windows were open. Email, some Excel spreadsheets, Word documents. Anna looked around, where to start. She opened the documents folder, started scrolling through files. Contracts, invoices, presentations. Nothing personal. Then looked in downloads. There were photos taken last night. Her passport, medical records, inheritance certificate. All clear, all pages. Her heart beat faster. So she didn't imagine it. He really photographed. Anna opened the email. Scrolled through incoming messages for the last week. Work correspondence, spam, some notifications. Nothing suspicious. She opened sent. Scrolled, and suddenly stopped. A letter from last night. Recipient, Petrov Igor Vladimirovich. Subject, consultation on guardianship. Anna froze. Guardianship? What's this about? She clicked the letter, opened it. The text was short. Igor Vladimirovich, good evening. Sending the documents we discussed. Please review and let me know what other certificates are needed for establishing guardianship. My wife suffers from a mental disorder. There is confirmation from doctors. I want to formalize everything officially to be able to manage her property and finances. Regards, David. Anna reread the letter again. Then again. The words swam before her eyes, didn't fit in her head. Mental disorder. What disorder? She has no disorder. She opened the attachment to the letter. There were photos of her documents taken at night. And another file, a scanned certificate from the neuropsychiatric dispensary. Anna opened the image, squinted, peering at the text. Patient Carter Anna Marie, born 1983. Diagnosis: bipolar affective disorder, moderate severity. Under observation since 2023. Recommended ongoing medication and monitoring by relatives. Anna recoiled from the scream. What nonsense! She had never been to a neuropsychiatric dispensary. Never treated for bipolar disorder. This is a fake. It's all a fake. Her hands shook so much she could barely control the mouse. Anna closed the file, returned to the letter, scrolled the correspondence higher, looked at previous messages. A week ago, David wrote to this Petrov. Igor Vladimirovich, please advise on the procedure for declaring a person incompetent. My wife has been behaving inadequately lately, forgetting basic things, having hysterics without reason. I'm worried for her safety and the preservation of property. Recently she received an inheritance, and I'm afraid she might do something rash. The lawyer's response was professional, dry. David, to declare incompetent, a psychiatric evaluation conclusion is required. Need to gather medical documents confirming the mental disorder. Also need witness statements about inadequate behavior. The procedure takes 3 to 6 months. If the court declares the person incompetent, a guardian is appointed who manages all financial and legal matters of the ward. Further correspondence discussed details. David asked how to get medical certificates, if the process could be sped up, how much it would cost. Petrov answered in detail, gave advice, named amounts. Anna read and didn't believe. This is absurd. This is madness. Her husband, with whom she lived 10 years, plans to declare her insane. To get control over the inheritance, over grandma's apartment and money. She leaned back in the chair, covered her face with her hands. Her head buzzed. Everything fell into place. The sudden care, dinner, attempt to put her to sleep with sleeping pills. He wanted her to sleep soundly while he photographed the documents. And then he'd pass everything to this lawyer, and they'd cook up a case about her incompetence. Anna lowered her hands, looked at the screen. Need to save all this. Need to make copies. She pulled a USB drive from the desk drawer, inserted it into the computer, copied the entire correspondence with Petrov, all files with document photos. The fake dispensary certificate. Her fingers trembled, but she forced herself to act slowly, carefully, so as not to miss anything important. When everything was copied, Anna closed all windows on the laptop, returned it to the state she found it in, pulled out the USB, clutched it in her fist. This is her only evidence, her salvation. She left the study, went to the bedroom, hid the USB in a secret spot in the old jewelry box where grandma's jewelry was kept. David never looked there. Anna sat on the bed edge, hugged her head. What now? Who to turn to? Police. But what will she tell them? Husband photographed my documents and corresponds with a lawyer. That's not a crime. Not yet a crime. Need to think. Need to act smart, carefully. If David finds out she's aware of his plans, he might speed up the process. Or think of something else. Anna stood up, went to the kitchen. Her hands still shook, but she needed to take control. She poured water, drank in big gulps, looked at the clock 9:30. David at work, won't return before 6. So she has time. Time to think, time to make a plan. She remembered the certificate from the neuropsychiatric dispensary, fake. Who could have made it? David himself? Or this lawyer Petrov helped? So if he has a fake certificate, he can present it as evidence of her mental disorder. Need to get a real certificate, an official conclusion from a psychiatrist that will confirm she's healthy. That will be her protection. Anna took her phone, opened the browser, started searching for private psychiatric clinics. State ones were out right away along there. Bureaucracy, questions might arise. Need a private clinic where she can get examined quickly and get an official conclusion. She found several addresses, wrote them on a piece of paper. One clinic was nearby, 20 minutes by subway. Harmony Mental Health Center. Appointments with a top category doctor, PhD in medicine. Can schedule for today. Anna dialed the number, waited for an answer. Harmony Center. Good day, a female voice responded. Hello, Anna tried to speak calmly, though inside everything trembled. I'd like to schedule an appointment with a psychiatrist. Possible today. Let me check. Pause. Keyboard clicks. Yes, there's a slot at 2 p.m. Will that suit you? Yes, perfect. Your name? Carter Anna Marie. Okay, noted. Come at 2, office 5 on the 2nd floor. Anna hung up. 2 o'clock. So need to leave in an hour. We'll make it. She went to the bathroom, looked at herself in the mirror. Pale face, red eyes, disheveled hair. Need to pull herself together. Need to look adequate, calm, so the doctor doesn't suspect anything strange. Anna took a shower, washed her hair, blow-dried it. Put on clean jeans, a light blouse, a cardigan, a bit of makeup, foundation to hide the pallor, mascara for lashes. Looked in the mirror again. Better. Ordinary middle-aged woman, a bit tired, but quite normal. She took her bag, put in her passport, medical records, money. Left the apartment, went down. Outside it was cold. November wind rustled bare tree branches. Anna raised her jacket collar, quickly walked to the subway. In the subway car, she sat staring out the window, not seeing her reflection in the dark glass. In her head spun what to say to the doctor, how to explain why she needs the certificate. Maybe lie, say for work, or for a visa. No, better tell the truth. A psychiatrist isn't someone you can deceive. He'll sense right away if she's lying. The Harmony Clinic was in a quiet alley, in an old mansion with high windows and white columns. Anna climbed the steps, pushed the heavy door. The lobby was warm, cozy, smelling of coffee and fresh flowers. At the registration desk sat a young girl in a white coat. Good day, I'm here for the doctor at 2. Carter. Yes, 2nd floor, office 5, doctor. Sullivan will see you. Anna went up the stairs, found the right office. Knocked. From behind the door, come in. She entered. The office was bright, spacious, with bookshelves along the walls. Behind the desk sat a man about 50, grey hair, kind eyes behind thin-framed glasses. Anna Carter. Come in, sit. He pointed to the chair opposite the desk. I'm Dr. Andrew Sullivan. Tell me what brings you to me. Anna sat down, clutched her bag on her lap. Her heart pounded. She took a deep breath. I need a certificate that I'm mentally healthy. An official certificate that will have legal force. Sullivan raised his eyebrows. I see. And may I ask for what purpose you need this certificate? Anna paused, then decided. My husband plans to declare me incompetent. He's corresponding with a lawyer, gathering documents, wants to prove I'm mentally ill, to get control over my inheritance. I found the correspondence, found a fake certificate from the dispensary. I need an official conclusion that will prove I'm healthy, that he made it all up. Sullivan listened attentively, without interrupting. When Anna finished, he took off his glasses, wiped the lenses with a napkin, put them back on. This is a serious situation. You say your husband has a fake certificate. Yes. It says I have bipolar disorder, that I've been under observation since 2023, but it's all a lie. I've never seen a psychiatrist, never been treated. Okay, Sullivan nodded. Then let's conduct an examination. I'll ask you some questions. We'll do testing, and if everything's fine, I'll issue you the certificate. It will be stamped by the clinic and signed by me. Such a document has legal force. Thank you. Anna exhaled in relief. The next hour she answered questions, took tests, drew pictures, solved logic puzzles. Sullivan asked questions calmly, without pressure, listened attentively to answers, made notes in a notebook. When everything was done, he leaned back in his chair, looked at her. Anna Carter, I can reassure you. No signs of mental disorders in you. You're adequate, logical, emotionally stable. There are signs of stress, naturally, in your situation, but no bipolar disorder anywhere near. I'll issue you a certificate with a conclusion of full mental health. Anna felt her breath catch. Really? You're sure? Absolutely sure. Moreover, Sullivan took a form, started filling it out. I'll note in the certificate that fake medical documents, if such exist, have no relation to your real health state. This will help you in court if it comes to trial. Thank you. Anna felt tears welling up. Thank you so much. Sullivan handed her the stamped certificate. Here. And one more advice: contact a good lawyer. What your husband is doing is fraud and forgery. Criminal liability for that. I will. Thank you. She left the clinic, went down the steps. Outside it was still cold, but Anna didn't feel the cold. She felt something else, relief mixed with anger. David thought she was weak, that she wouldn't suspect anything, that he could pull off his scheme. But he was wrong. Anna took her phone, searched for family law lawyer, found several contacts, started calling. First office didn't pick up. Second said appointment only next week. Third answered a male voice. Famous law firm, listening. Hello. I need a lawyer consultation. Urgently. On what matter? Family law, fraud, forgery. We can offer an appointment today at 5. Will that work? Yes. Address: Prospect Street, Building 12, Office 305. Lawyer Kravitz Michael Igorovich. We'll be waiting. Anna noted the address, looked at the clock. 4 o'clock. We'll make it. She headed to the other end of the city. The Themis firm was in a modern business center on the 3rd floor. Anna took the elevator, found the right office. At the reception desk sat a strict middle-aged woman. I'm here for Kravitz at 5. Come in, office 7. Anna knocked, entered. The office was small but cozy. Behind the desk sat a man about 40, in a suit with short hair and an attentive gaze. Anna Carter. Michael Kravitz. He shook her hand, pointed to the chair. Sit, tell. Anna sat, pulled out the OSP and psychiatrist certificate from her bag. Placed them on the table. My husband plans to declare me incompetent to seize my inheritance. Here are the proofs. Kravitz took the OSP, inserted it into the computer, opened the files, started reading the correspondence. His face remained impassive, but something flashed in his eye: surprise or indignation. He read everything, looked at the fake certificate, then the real one. Tell me, has your husband filed documents in court yet? I don't know. The correspondence is dated last night. I think he's still preparing. Good. Means we have time to act preemptively. Listen to what we'll do. I'll draft a police statement about fraud and forgery. Attach your psychiatrist certificate, correspondence copies. These are serious evidences. Under Article 327 of the Criminal Code, forgery provides up to 2 years imprisonment. Under 159, fraud up to 5 years. Anna listened, not believing her ears. So they can jail him? If the police open a case, yes. But first they'll check. Important that you have proofs, not just your words against his. It's documents, correspondence, certificates. The court will take note. What do I do now? How to behave with him? Kravitz pondered. Behave as usual. Don't show your husband you filed the statement. Let everything go its course. And we'll meanwhile prepare the statement. File it with the police. When they open the case, he'll be called for questioning. That's when everything will come out. Anna nodded. Okay. How long will this take? A week, maybe 2. Depends on police workload, but I'll try to speed up the process. Thank you. Anna stood up. What do I need to do? Leave me this husband certificate. I'll make copies, draft the statement. Tomorrow I'll call you, tell when to go to the police. Anna left the documents, exited the office. Outside it was already darkening. She sat on a bench by the business center entrance, took her phone. David had sent a message. Delayed at work. Home by 8. Good. Means she still has time to collect herself, gather her thoughts. Anna headed home. The whole way she thought about how her life would change. Divorce inevitable. But that's not scary. Scary would be to continue living with a man ready to betray, deceive, steal. She remembered Grandma. Vera always said, Annie, take care of yourself. Don't let anyone use you. Anna nodded then, not understanding what it was about. Now she understood. At home, she cooked dinner simple, ordinary. Potatoes, cutlets, salad. Set the table, sat to wait. At 8, David came. Pale, agitated. Threw his briefcase in the hallway. Went into the room without even greeting. What happened? Anna followed. Got called to the police. He turned sharply to her. Some nonsense about documents, about a lawyer. You don't know what it's about. Anna shrugged. No idea. He looked at her long, studying. Anna held the gaze, not looking away. Strange, David finally said. Very strange. He went to the study, closed the door. Anna heard him pacing there, talking on the phone in a muffled voice. Probably corresponding with Petrov, discussing next steps. That night, she hardly slept, lay staring at the ceiling, replaying the next day in her head. What will she say at the police? How will the investigator react? Will they believe her? In the morning, David left for work as usual. Anna dressed, took the folder with documents, psychiatrist certificate. At 9:30, left the home. At the police station entrance stood Kravitz. Seeing her, nodded. Let's go. Everything's ready. They went inside, up to the second floor. Kravitz knocked on the door with the sign Investigator Morozov. Come in, responded from inside. Behind the desk sat a woman about 45 in uniform, with short dark hair and a strict face. Ekaterina Alexandrovna, this is Carter Anna Marie, the one I told you about. Morozova looked attentively at Anna. Sit. Tell in order. Anna started talking. Told about David's return from the trip, about dinner, about discovering him photographing documents at night, then about the correspondence with the lawyer, the fake dispensary certificate, the plan to declare her incompetent. Morozova listened silently, making notes in a notebook. When Anna finished, the investigator took the folder with documents, started carefully studying. Correspondence there. Fake certificate there. Your psychiatrist certificate affirms you're healthy. Good. This really looks like fraud and forgery. What now? Anna asked. We'll open a check. Call your husband for questioning. Question this lawyer Petrov. If confirmed that the certificate is fake, and your husband really planned to declare you incompetent for the inheritance, we'll open a criminal case under Articles 159 and 327 of the Criminal Code, fraud and forgery. Anna closed her eyes, exhaled. What now? Your husband will be held criminally liable. Preliminary investigation will take about a month, then court. If the court finds him guilty, he'll get from 2 to 5 years imprisonment. Petrov under investigation too. Anna opened her eyes. And me? What do I do? You're free. You can file for divorce, divide property. Your inheritance stays with you, no one can take it. Thank you. Anna put down the phone. That evening, David didn't come home. Called around 8, voice dull, tired. Anna, I've been detained. They opened a case. Lawyer says they might give real time. Sorry, Anna answered calmly. You knew? Yes. I knew everything. From the start. Pause. Then a heavy sigh. How did you find out? Woke up at night. Saw you photographing my documents. Then found the correspondence with Petrov. And understood what you planned. Anna, forgive me. I didn't mean to. Just the money, the apartment. I thought it was a way out. Way out of what? Out of our marriage. Wanted to get rid of me and take Grandma's inheritance. Not like that. Not exactly. Exactly like that, Dave. You wanted to declare me insane, become my guardian, and dispose of my money. That's called fraud. I'll pay for everything. I'll make amends. Too late. Too late. Anna hung up, sat on the couch, hugged herself. No desire to cry. Only wanted one thing: silence. She took her phone, dialed Kravitz's number. Michael Igorovich, I want to file for divorce. Tomorrow, good. Come in the morning, we'll prepare the documents. The next day, Anna filed the divorce petition. A month later, when the court hearing on David's case was just starting, their marriage was officially dissolved. They didn't divide property. Anna had her inheritance. David had nothing but debts for the lawyer. The court found David guilty of fraud and forgery, gave 3 years probation, with a 2-year suspended sentence. Petrov also convicted 2 years probation. Anna sat in the courtroom, listening to the verdict. David stood before the judge, slumped, aged. He turned once, looked at her. She didn't look away, just looked calmly, without anger, without pity. When it all ended, she left the courthouse. Outside, the sun shone, though it was already December. Anna took her phone, looked at Grandma's photo in the gallery. Vera smiled at her from the screen. Thank you, Grandma, Anna said quietly. For everything. For the apartment, for the money, for the lesson. I didn't let you down. I coped. She put away the phone, walked down the street. Ahead was a new life. Without David, without lies, without betrayal. Just her life. A week after the court, Anna sat at the table in Grandma's kitchen. She'd come here right after the divorce, deciding to stay here for a while. That apartment where she'd spent 10 years with David now seemed alien, soaked in lies and pain. Grandma's apartment greeted her with silence and the smell of old wood. The parquet creaked underfoot. High ceilings created a sense of space, and soft winter light poured through the windows. Anna walked through the rooms, touched the old furniture, remembering childhood. This couch where she read books. This dresser where Grandma kept photos. This balcony overlooking the park where they drank tea on summer evenings. She opened the dresser, took out the photo album, flipped through pages, examining black and white shots. Grandma young, beautiful, in a white dress. Grandpa next to her smiling. Then parents' mom still a girl, about 5. Then herself, little Annie with pigtails. So many lives passed in this apartment. So much joy and sorrow. Grandma survived the war, hunger, loss of her husband. Mum grew up here, got married, gave birth to Anna. And now they're all gone, and only she remains. But not quite alone. She has this apartment, these memories, this inheritance that Grandma struggled so hard to save. And no one can take that from her anymore. Anna closed the album, put it back, poured herself tea, sat by the window. Outside, snow fell, large flakes slowly settling on the ground. In the park below, people walked with kids. Someone built a snowman. The phone rang. Unknown number. Anna frowned, but answered anyway. Hello, Anna Carter. This is Morozova, investigator. Yes, listening. I have news for you. Your ex-husband wrote a petition to remove the probation early. Says he's repented, ready to make amends. But for that, needs your consent as the victim. Anna was silent. Sergei wants to remove the conviction. Of course he does. With a conviction, it'll be hard for him to find normal work, build a new life. And what do you advise me? If you think he's truly repented, you can give consent. If not, you can refuse. I'll think, good. Let me know in a week. Hearing set for December 20th. Anna hung up. Had David repented? Or just scared before punishment? She didn't know. And honestly, she didn't care. David remained in the past. And ahead, she had a new life. Anna stood up, went to the window. The snow fell thicker, covering the city in a white blanket. She thought she needed to renovate the apartment, update the wallpaper, replace the old plumbing, paint the windows, make this place truly hers, and maybe even return to work. She hadn't worked for 10 years, but her accounting experience hadn't gone anywhere. Could start with freelancing, remote orders, or get a job at a small firm. Main thing to feel needed, useful, independent again. The money from grandma gave her freedom. She could not rush, choose what to do next. Could study, travel, do what she liked. The phone rang again. This time a familiar number. Lawyer Kravitz. Anna Carter, good day. Wanted to inform you of good news. All divorce documents finalized. The inheritance is fully at your disposal. No claims from your ex-husband and can't be. You're free. Thank you, Michael Igorovich. Thank you for everything. Contact if needed. And take care. Anna put down the phone, smiled. Free. What a good word. In the evening, her friend Lena came. They studied together in college. Then Anna got married and somehow distanced from friends. But when all this happened with David, Lena called first, supported, offered help. Now they sat in the kitchen, drank tea, talked. You know, I'm so happy for you, Lena said, that you went through all this and came out a winner. Don't feel like a winner, Anna admitted honestly. Just feel tired. That's normal. You went through so much in the last month. But main thing, you coped. Didn't break, didn't give up. Found strength to fight. I just couldn't let him steal my life. And right. How many women in your situation would just resign? Afraid of scandal, divorce, loneliness. And you went to the end. Anna was silent. Wise woman, your grandma. Kingdom of heaven to her. They were silent. Then Lena asked, and now? Any plans? Don't know. Want to do repairs. Maybe get a job. We'll see. And personal life. Anna chuckled. What personal life? I just divorced. Well, yeah, early still. But someday later. Don't close yourself off, Annie. Not all guys are like David. I know. Just not up to it yet. Lena nodded, poured herself more tea. By the way, if you need work, can offer an option. At our firm, the accountant is going on maternity leave. Looking for a replacement. Not super salary, but for a start it'll do. Really? Anna perked up. What kind of firm? Small travel agency. We arrange tours, sell packages. I'm a manager there. Good team, adequate boss. If you want, can put in a word. I want, Anna said decisively. Let's try. Great. Tomorrow I'll tell the director. They talked more. Lena told news who from their classmates where works, who has kids, who got married, who divorced. Anna listened, amazed how people's lives had changed over these years while she sat at home in her cozy cocoon. When Lena left, Anna went to bed on the old grandma's couch, covered herself with the fluffy blanket that grandma wore upon, lay staring at the ceiling, thinking about the future. Strange feeling, scary and joyful at the same time. Scary because uncertainty ahead. Joyful because that uncertainty belongs to her alone. No one will decide for her anymore, control, manipulate. She remembered how David said, why work? Stay home, handle the household. It sounded like care then. Now she understood, it was a cage. Golden, comfortable, but a cage. And she wants to fly. Wants to live as she sees fit. Anna closed her eyes. Tomorrow she'll call Morozova and give her decision about David. She already knew what to say. In the morning, she dialed the investigator's number. Ekaterina Alexandrovna. This is Carter. Regarding my ex-husband's petition, I won't give consent to remove the probation. You're sure? Absolutely. Let him serve the punishment fully. Maybe in those 2 years, he'll really understand what he did good. I'll pass your decision to the court. Anna hung up. She felt no pity for David. He made his choice when he decided to betray her. Now let him bear responsibility. A week later, Lena called with good news. Annie, the director, agrees to take you on. Come tomorrow for interview, it's a formality. He already knows about your experience, I told everything. Thank you, Lena. Huge thanks. The next day, Anna came to the Horizon Travel Agency office. Small space on the first floor of a residential building, 3 rooms. Walls hung with posters of various countries. Behind the desk sat the director, a man about 50, friendly, with kind eyes. Anna Carter. Come in, sit. Lena told a lot of good about you. They talked half an hour. The director asked about experience, knowledge of programs, readiness for full-time work. Anna answered calmly, confidently. The 10-year break didn't scare her, she knew she'd cope. Good, the director nodded. Start from Monday. Salary $40,000, base plus bonus. Schedule 9 to 6, Saturday, Sunday off. Suit you? Yes, suits. Then we'll prepare the documents. Anna left the office with an employment contract in hand. She was a working person again. Needed again, useful, independent. Monday started early. Anna got up at 7, got ready, dressed in a strict suit she bought specially for work. Looked at herself in the mirror. A different woman, looked back confident, collected, ready for a new life. At work, they welcomed her warmly. The team turned out small, 3 managers including Lena, a secretary, and her, the accountant. All women, all friendly, no intrigues or backstabbing. The first week, Anna dived into work, sorted documents, set up accounting. Lots of work, but she coped. Even liked the feeling of being busy, that something depends on you. Evenings she returned to Grandma's apartment, cooked dinner, read books, watched movies. Sometimes Lena came, they chatted, drank wine, laughed. Life was getting better. On New Year's Eve, Anna sat on the balcony of Grandma's apartment, wrapped in a blanket. Below in the park, they decorated the tree. Garlands twinkled, multicolored lights. Kids ran around laughing. She thought about the past year. How much happened? Grandma's death, inheritance, David's betrayal, divorce, trial. A terrible, heavy year. But she survived. Moreover, she became stronger. Anna took her phone, opened Grandma's photo. Vera smiled at her from the screen. Happy New Year, Grandma, Anna said quietly. Thank you for everything. For the apartment, for the money, for the science. I didn't let you down. I coped. The chimes struck somewhere far. The new year began. A new life. Without lies, without betrayal, without fear. Thank you for listening to the story. This has been the channel Twists of Fate. Sorry for any mistakes, let us know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel. Been the channel Twists of Fate. Sorry for any mistakes, let us know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel.